really a lot of the focus right now is on the price of where we're trading. So what would you say is driving that rally in Bitcoin?
I think the secular trend is there, right? Unfortunately, every time when we have some cracks in the current system, in financial system, between all the banking failures and inflation rates, people are naturally asking the question, what is the current problem? How can we solve it? And Bitcoin is becoming a very clear safe haven for a lot of the issues that we're having right now.
Okay, but in terms of the issues, you're talking about the banking sector in specifically?
The overall financial system. The overall financial system. I think the situation that we're seeing is that with technology improving the remainder of our life, money has been left behind. There is a lot of central point of failure, and inflation is also eating into people's purchase power, and people are asking, how can I actually save my money over time? And unfortunately, right now, there's only one real option there, which is Bitcoin. That is internet native, that is real money, that does not fall into control of any third party, right? And the value actually holds over time. So.
Mm-hmm. But Bitcoin itself, at least in the US, has really been sort of cut off from the traditional banking system with the collapse of Signature, for instance, and Silvergate. So that's something that's impacted OKX directly. Where are you at with that?
OKX actually hasn't been affected by those particular banking failures. We are operating just as fine. Okay. But I would say that industry is going through some of these pains because of the failures in the existing on-ramps in general.
Well, that was OKX did need to pause its USD on-ramp due to the collapse of Signature Bank?
No.
Okay.
It hasn't been affecting OKX per se.
Okay, so in terms of banking partners generally, how would you say you're dealing with that fallout though from those banks? Are you looking for other partners?
We continue to build our banking relationship. We continue to build our product in terms of on-ramp, and part of it is also relating to getting licenses in different jurisdictions to enable a stronger and more robust banking relationship, and our efforts in Hong Kong is part of that plan.
So in terms of regulation on the sector, I mean, we just heard there from Heidi that the IMF is one of those calling for greater rules. It does seem, at least in the US, that the focus has been more on enforcement actions instead. What sort of conversations are you having?
Yeah, in US, we are seeing a lot of conversations and moving pieces. From an industry perspective, we definitely look for more regulatory clarity, more guidance, what can and cannot be done, so that the innovation in technology can actually be pursued with more transparency. I think things are still very dynamic, and I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful because in US you have different regulatory conversations, and then you also have federal and state dynamics, which is playing out. So I'm hoping that we can have more clarity down the road in US. But at least in Hong Kong, we're seeing good sign, right? The regulator here is actually very open. It listened to the industry, and we are very excited to continue to have the commitment for the local.
The regulatory landscape in Hong Kong, what sort of lessons would you say that they're taking from other jurisdictions?
Hong Kong regulator has always been very careful and disciplined. I think it's good to do very simple tests, and I assume that that's probably what we'll end up having initially, having very simple products to be offered to larger population and see what happens, and have open conversation with the industry, and we're very happy to be part of that conversation.
What else would you say needs to happen in Hong Kong around the broader crypto ecosystem for it to truly become a virtual asset hub? For instance, stablecoins is one area that still needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I think part of it is regulatory clarity, which we're seeing and very encouraged by. And then the other part is obviously industry has to play its own role, right? For us, we have been committed to building and focusing on technology, building for long term, being disciplined and responsible, and instead of being focused on short-term trading profit, which we never have done, we want to build for the long term. We want to be transparent and be consistent, and I think that will help move the industry forward in the right direction.